like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect out there who is pushing the word, you know. And this is just me kind of walk, going for my little walk. And I never been. I normally come on this subway. This is this is actually close to where I live. So I normally just go on the bus or I get a drive or whatever, like to camp. And basically, this is like this fellow. His name is Philip Coat, which he's a tribe of Gad, and he has a lot of art throughout the history. He has a lot of art like throughout the city, and you know, and there's a lot of history. So I normally be on the subway. So I haven't even I went for this nice walk. I went for a stroll, and I could see this man's art, and this is beautiful work what he's doing. And I'm gonna turn the screen around. So like yeah, um, this is uh, like basically like this is like like this is like the Genesis, like the creation, right? And you see how we have like Genesis, John 1, that in the beginning that was the Word, and the Word was Yahweh, or the Word was Yahweh Shai. And I don't have my Bible with me, but read John in 1, John 1 verse 1, um, Genesis, and they're very in tune with how like with their history, knowing who they are, and this history, you know, was because the so-called white man, like they know who the tribes were or are, and they bury it, like that's why they have that their truth and reconciliation, which we're not gonna be reconciled until the Lord comes. He's gonna do the recompense, right? Because we don't have the power. That these people have the power, and we see that their kingdom is basically is decaying, you know, and but a lot of our people, they're great artists, they're great, historians, and definitely would like to meet, with you know these Gad, who's like historian, with certain other history, because where I live over the Tobacco, there's a lot of history, man. And you know, even that word Tobacco is like what do you call it? Uh, a Gadite word, Anasabi, right? And you know, I definitely, if I see you, I run into you, I hopefully we could go live. We could do a dialogue. But this is you know like Genesis 1, right? Um, we go on the other side of this. This is another history. I don't know what this is. You know. Um, then I'll have this here. I'm gonna have to walk because there's a whole bunch of dirt and mud, so I have to watch my step. All right, so when you see a Gadite, especially at camp, you have to dialogue, right? Because like they know, like they know who they are, and even the whole Book of Mormons, right, talks about the tribe of Gad. North American Indians goes into that. Um, and basically like this is Adam and Eve, right? Um, that basically like they became uh, one, out of her rib, which she didn't actually. Adam didn't take one of his ribs, just one of his kinswoman, right? Which was this was his actual sister, right? Through his bloodline, and you know, so that's what it is. This is like the whole Adam and Eve, and Eve, she ate the fruit, right, which is knowing good and evil, right, and Adam ate it, right. So this is Adam and Eve, right. So I definitely would like to if I uh, if I see you doing your art, man, throughout the city, man, and cause I remember I saw you over Humber College. You were drawing, but I was in the passenger seat. I'm like, good job, brother. You know, but he's a well-known historian and an elder, of the tribe of Gad. And there's a lot of history as well. Um, there's a whole bunch of Gadites and Reubenites out out here because I grew up with I believe one of my buddies, one of my brethren from young, when I was in like grade 4, grade 5, I had a brethren, and his mother was Jamaican, Benjamite, and his dad was a Gadite, or I believe Seminole. I believe they're from like Detroit, and you know, and he was like a big boxer, you know, my brethren, and so I grew up around, Gadites, here and there. I didn't really grow up amongst a lot of them, but now knowing who the tribes are, through you know, um, like with the 12 tribes chart, what Arya, that the spirit was dealing with him, right? And I believe he's still alive. You know, basically, the Lord was dealing with him, and he had a vision, and because him and Abba Bivens and like an Arya, they were very uh, deep, knowing like about the North American Indians, the Seminoles, and the spirit was dealing with Arya, and with the whole 12 tribes, where the 12 tribes are located. Because you read Genesis 49, that Jacob, that he blessed his sons, right? And in the latter days, we're in the latter days, right? And that's why you get that scripture, Genesis 49 says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome them at the last, right? So there's a lot of history. So when you're walking about, driving, or walking down the street, like you have to pay attention to, the our history, right? Because this is who we are, all right. And as well as there's a lot of history. They say that Mateus da Costa was one of the first black people like to come to Canada, which was false, because there was many more even before him, right? And that would basically were in the Americas, right? So there's a lot of history about that. The Moors would always go back and forth. Basically, basically during like the 1300s, you had the Kingdom of Mali. Basically, some of them were Jews, and some of them were practicing Islam as well, and some of them came to the New World, to set up shop, right? So basically, like that's why the king, what do you call it, like Mansa Musa before, like he was here, like there was another guy even before Mansa Musa who came to the Americas and we set up shop, right? So there's a lot of history, man, you know, and this is this would be Adam and Eve, right? You know, and I'm gonna walk around here because this whole bunch of mud and bunch of water, so I don't want to get soaked. Some graffiti right there, but, you know, it's like this is the real like graffiti or real art, right? Because this is a story, all right. This kind of looks like a turtle somewhere. I don't know, you know. But yeah, man. This is yeah. So I just was observing that, and yeah, Jake is waking up, and this is like a new trail, so it's actually not that far from around where I reside. Have to watch out 'cause I don't want to get my shoes covered with dirt and mud, But this is our heritage, man. All right, and when you see a Gadite or whatever, you have to reason with them as well, right? Because it says be at peace with all men, right? If it's so possible, right? Because there's a lot of history, all right, and they know a lot more than what they uh like they know a lot more than what they don't, right? So you have to like be patient. But the elect is waking up. There's a lot of Gadite and Seminoles, in the camp, the apostles, apostle Ariam Lab, apostle Raka, and the that the bishops of the of the Connecticut, whole bunch of them is Seminole and Gad. West Coast. There's a couple brothers from the West Coast, Chicago, Mississippi. Like there's so much different Gad and Seminole, all right, that's mixed up, you know. So yeah, this is just my little morning. This is my little afternoon walk, you know, and this is good, man. And basically, there's more. I believe there's a guy named I think named like Taco Dan or something in Alberta. He's a artist and a historian, and I believe in one of his drawings, one of his art, was vandalized. That like they put like a cement, to try and like block out these images. So like these are very historical. We watched that movie. The guy, what's his name? That movie Whitney Houston. He has the I forgot the guy's name. Basically, he has the like documentary called the 500 Nations because there was a lot of different tribes, throughout the Americas, you know, and so there's a lot of history, and hopefully, you brothers out there, you guys could go more, cause the like the brother in our camp, the elder in our camp, um, yeah, like the elder in our camp, like Jeremiah, he was he very you'd always go into like the history and stuff. So Lord will, uh, if you have a gift to like go into certain history about the tribe of Gad, Ruben, bring it out, you know, because we're breaking down strongholds and lies that was that was taken, So yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that, let's y'all praise due to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Akakwada. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect out there. So shalom. All praise due to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles again.